Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of Trey the Terrible Collector. This week, we're going to be unboxing Iceman. No, not that one.
That's Bobby. Robert Drake, also known as Iceman.
There it is. Bobby Drake, the X-Man known as Iceman, is an Omega-level mutant. He was one of the initial members of the team, and when he first joined, he was a jokester, one of the very young members of the team. Didn't take any of it really seriously. As the comics evolved, so did Iceman himself. He eventually fought alongside some other heroes on other teams and became an incredibly important member of the X-Men. He's gone through a lot of changes over the years, and I think that he has become a very interesting character in his own right. His ice powers have given him control over water on a molecular level where he can actually replace parts of his body with the ice itself instead of just manipulating ice. Now, this toy I'm super excited about. As you can see in front of us, we've got Wolverine, Forge, and Sabretooth. They all have some kind of mechanical gimmick that they use. Sabretooth with his self-healing, Forge with his quick draw action, Wolverine with his hack and slash ability. Iceman takes a different route. He has two distinct things. First, he comes with an ice board, which he's going to use to like travel around on. But he also has a color change ability. So when he's put in the freezer, his body will change into like a blue color. Also, I believe the design on this is set up so that you can fill up this little cavity with water and then have an actual ice slide to slide around on. So that's really cool. Kind of a just different take on the way these toys work. Up here in the corner, you've got the X-Men as always. Down here, you've got the artwork, kind of shows him in his like hardened ice form. And then on the back, it goes into some of the detail about how his powers are going to be working. All that said, I'm really excited to bust this one open. I haven't seen this in person in years, so let's go ahead and make it happen. Awesome. So just right off the bat, very cool to look at. Completely translucent, nice, interesting like paint job on the eyes and the face. And then you've got the detail of the boots. So it looks like he's still in his uniform, even though he's completely iced up. Cool, cool, cool. He should fit right into there quite nicely. Reminds me of like a Silver Surfer figure or something like that. In here, we've also got taped down a White Queen trading card. We'll get along to that in a second. So this Iceman, it might appear to not be that interesting, but the use of the transparent plastic is super cool. He's got great articulation, nice detail on the face, and the fact that they didn't really skimp on any of the details either, even though he's made of a different kind of plastic. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the freezer, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, we've got a little bit of a mixed bag when it comes to our results here as far as Iceman goes. Whatever highly toxic and most likely radioactive chemical was originally in him that made him turn blue is really no longer working. You can see a little bit maybe of where it turned blue on his thigh, but it's really not very noticeable. On the other hand, this part of it worked great. Check that out, a real life ice slide. How stinking freaking cool is that? I remember being 7 years old and having a figure like this that like actually did what it was supposed to do. Iceman has a real ice slide. Now this is very cool as far as accessories go, but that's hours of play right there. That's really fantastic. So the color changing might not work, but The ice slide is an absolute hit. All right, and there you have our Iceman figure. Uh, that means it is time to go through our card and extra fact today belong to the once villainous Emma Frost. At this point in time, she was known as the White Queen of the Hellfire Club. She and Iceman actually interacted a couple of times in some very unique and interesting ways. At one point, she was being held at the X Mansion because she had been injured in a battle, and when she woke up, she lashed out with her powers and took over Iceman's body. At that point, she used his powers in ways that he had never used them before. She turned into water and emerged from a river miles away from where he had been. And then months later, he had received an injury to his chest, and she taught him in a roundabout way how to use his abilities to heal himself, really bringing him to a much higher level of power than he'd ever been at before. And there you have it, the White Queen. Thank you so much for joining us for the unboxing of Iceman. Very cool figure. I'm very excited to have this one in our possession. Please remember to like and subscribe and drop a comment if you want to be a part of it. And I know y'all have been very, very patient. I'm sure you're champing at the bit to hear a little bit more about Wolverine and see another unboxing. So next episode, we'll bust out another Wolverine. Until then, y'all have been wonderful, and I have been terrible, and we'll see you again soon.